Kaulig Racing has had conversations with Ram about potentially fielding a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series team for the brand in 2026. That rumor has been floating around for a little bit over a month now at this point. I first heard about this back on 4th of July weekend when I was at the Chicago street race. And on Wednesday, team president Chris Rice was on SiriusXM NASCAR and said, yeah, they have had conversations with Ram, with Dodge. And he said that he believes everybody in the garage area has had conversations, which he's not entirely wrong there. Ram has been putting out a lot of feelers to find a teams for that 2026 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season and potentially for the Cup Series in 2027, 2028, whenever that could happen. From a Kaulig standpoint, I think this makes a lot of sense here. They're pretty far down on the Chevy pecking order. They do have a strong alliance with RCR. They use ECR engines there. But from a standpoint of potentially being able to become the number one team within a new OEM, that's a hard thing to turn down. For Ram and Dodge, there's already infrastructure built in there at Kaulig. They're proven race winners. They've won in the Cup Series. They've won multiple times in the Xfinity Series. They've contended for Xfinity Series championships. Now, they have been Chevy teams since 2016 in their inception, but a move makes some sense because, like I said, the infrastructure is there. The ability to potentially become the number one team in that OEM is there. The biggest issue that's facing Dodge in this is what the future of an engine program could look like. Because the Truck Series is easy. That's a body with a spec Ilmor engine. Don't have to do too much with that. On the Cup Series side of things, where are they going to get their engines from? Because Hendrick's not going to build one, ECR is not going to build one, TRD is not going to build one, and Roush Yates is not going to build a motor for Dodge, for a new OEM. So they're either going to have to create their own engine shop, or they're going to have to find somebody to make an engine for them, whether that be an Ilmor or Cosworth or something like that, but that doesn't seem like that's going to happen either. So realistically, that's the biggest issue facing them. Kaulig, of course, doesn't have their own engine shop. They use ECR engines, but we'll see how it plays out going into the future. However, Kaulig's name does keep coming up in these Ram discussions.